Hello, welcome to my 1960 horror deep dive. I have pulled out every horror movie I own from 1960, and it ended up being a total of 16. So I went on to Letterboxd and I was checking out to see what I was missing. And there was about four that I would have liked to have had in my collection, but two of them have never gotten a physical release. So that one was the two that I didn't think, like, I couldn't find a way to buy them at all. They might have got a release, but it wasn't available to buy anywhere, and that was Ship of Monsters, which looked intriguing. I was like, kind of want to watch this, but it wasn't available on anything. I couldn't even watch it on streaming. And then the other one was a foreign movie, The Skeleton of Mrs. Morales. That one I wanted to get as well, and I couldn't, and can't stream it. So I'm missing those two. I'm also missing some that did get a physical, but they were a little bit out of print, and I would have had to pay too much, more than I was willing to pay. One was The Playgirls and the Vampire. Vinegar Syndrome released that movie, and in order to get it shipped in here in Canada, it would have cost me like $70. And I was like, not gonna pay $70 for a movie that I don't know whether it's gonna be good. It's one of the lower end ones as well. Like it wasn't very high on Letterboxd. So if I could have got it for like 20, 25, I would have pressed the trigger on it. What else was there? There was a couple more. Atom Age Vampire. I'd know nothing about that one, but I couldn't find a release for that anywhere. I don't think it got one. I'm not sure. But for the most part, this is almost a complete 1960 horror deep dive. I will go out on a limb and say I have everything worthy to be added to your collection. If you want to complete the year, it is possible. This is a year that you can actually complete, and you can actually have the whole entire year completed on your shelf and ranked if you wanted. I watched every one of these in about a 2-week period. A lot of them I had seen before, but I gave them a rewatch just to refresh my memory on some, because I'd only ever seen them once, and I watch so many movies that I need a memory refresher once in a while if I'm gonna do a ranking. It's kind of hard, because I could have just been like, oh, rank this, and made it quick and uncompleted. But when I do these videos, I like it to be like this is the finished product. All right, so I'm gonna get right to it because I have 16 to cover. And the first one here, a lot of them are gonna be boutique labeled as well. The first one is called Horrors of Spider Island. This is from Severin. I don't know why I show the backs. My camera can never pick up any of the special features or anything. But like all boutique labels, you know you're getting a nice chunk of special features. Usually they give them to you. This is a German movie. It comes with two versions, the German and the English, on Blu-ray for the first time ever. Got some reversible art there. This is my last place. Comes with a pretty nice catalog. It's just like a collector's catalog. And then it's got some third artwork on the inside too, actually. There's a third piece in there. So yeah, you get 3 things to choose from there. Um, didn't know what the heck I was going to be getting into on this. Now, this took my last place of the year. I gave it a 2 out of 5. It's not like, okay, there's a talent agency looking for dancers. I'll give you a quick sum up. And so the first like 15 minutes is just like this pervy dude and his secretary and a bunch of girls coming in one at a time and basically showing off their dancing skills. They're all going to be strippers. A lot of them seem like they're prostitutes and stuff. Lots of nudity. Actually, when I, like, the title's kind of funny. Horrors of Spider Island. Because, honestly, you could have put a W on the front there, and the movie still would have made perfect sense. Because that's kind of all it is. They end up crashing. They all land on this island, and a bunch of guys. There's like 3 guys on the island and about 12 women, and they're all like. There's striptease moments where it's just like 3 minutes of just a girl stripteasing to impress the men, and they're all kind of just like fighting over impressing the men for a good portion of the movie. But when they do show the spider stuff, it's kind of cool looking. Like the guy gets bitten early. He's out in the forest, and just this big tarantula leg, like this big around, just lands on his shoulder, and he gets bit, and it turns people into spiders, so they become like spider people. And I can't go much deeper. I've seen this once. It probably needs a rewatch because it didn't land for me 100%. But hey, it's still a 2. It's a must see. It's a sleazy movie if you're into that. And I'll just leave it at that. 1960. Black and white. Black and white nudity. Horrors of Spider Island. And in 15th place, this is from Criterion. This one disappointed the shit out of me. Because this was also a first time watch. This is a highly praised one. And the cover and the storyline and the back and everything really like got me going. It's Eyes Without a Face. It's a French film. So it is subtitled. I don't know if they put an English edition. I usually don't watch the dubs. I always watch it in its original language. But this one, it bummed me out. It's basically, it just has horror imagery. It's really artsy. I'll say that. If you've ever seen something like Carnival of Souls, kind of falls in the vein of that. Really cool, like, concept, though. Like, I also only gave this a 2, which is blasphemy for some people, I'm guessing, because this was sitting really high. It's one of the highly praised movies of the year. I will give it a future watch, and maybe it will rise. Maybe it'll connect with me more. Might connect with you more as well. It's about a girl whose father's trying to perfect her face. And she's just creepy. And what he's doing to her is just uncomfortable and gross, to be honest. It's a must-see for yourself because, Like, it might land with you, and it just didn't for me. But it's very slow paced, it's very dramatic, it's very artsy, um, with cool imagery. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to go super deep on some of these because I have only seen them once, and some of them are highly praised, and I just think they need further viewings. So I'll just whip through some of them quickly. Next up here, I have The Flesh and the Fiends. This is from Kino Lorber. Their Studio Classic line, starring Peter Cushing. This story, I've talked about this movie on my channel before as well. No Reversible Art. And, it's also got a really young Donald Pleasance as well. I shouldn't say really young. Just a younger Donald Pleasance. If you only know him from, like, Halloween, then you'll like, he barely looks the same in this. It kind of shocked me because I didn't know he was in it, and I was like, that looks like Donald Pleasance. And then I looked at the case, and it is Donald Pleasance. I've seen this story a lot. It's basically like a Dr. Jekyll / Jack the Ripper kind of story. Peter Cushing's a scientist, and these two guys are delivering him corpses to test his experiments on. And he wants an increase on the limit. Like, he wants more corpses, so they start making corpses, we'll say. And it's that classic story. But then there is a good side story here, a good side love story between we'll say a classy gentleman and a hooker. And the finale, like, where that story leads is the best part of the movie. It's kind of the most intriguing part. So this jumped up to a 2.5 now. We're halfway to a 5. But I've talked about this movie before on my channel, so I don't need to go super in depth. And it's decent. Like, it's a decent. The transfer isn't the greatest, though, I will say that. Next up here, we have from Scream Factory. This is The Leech Woman. Didn't know what I was getting here. She drained men of their loves and lives. This is one that caught me off guard. This goes up to a 3 now. And, like, I wasn't expecting anything. I've heard that it's just like a super cheese fest. I didn't find it cheesy at all. Like, it starts out in this woman that they've put makeup on to look really rough and like she's dying, basically. She's an alcoholic. And her husband is an asshole. Like, he wants to leave her. He doesn't like her the way she is. Like, here's the thing. He's not an asshole. He just doesn't treat her great. It's a weird one. It walks a fine line. But they just bicker a lot, and they're fighting, and they're trying to get a divorce. And then a really old woman comes into his doctor's office. I'll start there. And tells him that she has the cure, the aging cure. She is like 180 years old or something. I can't remember the exact age. And she needs to return to her homeland. So she needs money to get there because it's time for her to just pass on. But she will give him her formula. Her anti-aging formula if he pays her to go back. So he puts together a team. He goes and convinces his wife that he still loves her, which this is where the asshole shit comes in. And gets her to come with him. And when they get there, there's a bunch of stuff that they could have left out, to be honest. It's kind of boring, where they're meeting the tribe, and you find out it's just an African tribe, and they have this, so they do some voodoo by sacrificing a man, and the woman takes his essence, and you know where that's going. But the guy decides that he wants to escape. So the tribe just tells them that they're never allowed to leave here. So it becomes a captured movie. They say, once you've seen this, now that you've seen this, so the old woman lied to them, now that you've seen this, you're never leaving here alive. So the woman asks to be given the potion and the voodoo spell, and it de-ages her immediately, but she has to choose a man to sacrifice, and she chooses her husband, and that's where the twist comes in. And it's like, it's really good because he's being dragged, and it's a good little twist. And then she shows up back in her home, back in her own country, and she was only given a little bit of this juice to take once in a while to stop the de-aging process. So she keeps having spells where she's de-aging. Or, not de-aging, she's aging back to what she originally was, only worse. Like, it's gonna kill her, basically. And the only way to do it is to crack men on the head with this thing she's given and take some of their essence and drink it, and it brings her back again. Well, she just ends up spinning herself out of control and getting into a web of lies and deceit that end up leading to possibly her downfall. And I actually thought it was pretty intriguing. Like, I was actually sucked in and paying attention the whole time for this one. It was good. Next up here, in 12th place, this is from Film Masters. This is Tormented. Wasn't expecting a whole lot from this either, even though it was put out by Film Masters here, and I love their line. I have a lot of their line. Actually, I have another one coming up in this. But usually they're double features. This one was a standalone. So there's tons of special features on here. Full, like, hour and 10-minute documentaries, like, all kinds of shit. Bonuses. Directed by Burt Gordon. This movie it starts out, and a man and a woman are in a lighthouse, and the woman is threatening to tell this guy's fiance about them. So he's having an affair, and she's gonna tell his fiance, and he says, "I love my fiance, I don't want to be with you no more." The classic cheating predicament. And she trips and falls, and she's hanging on the edge of the lighthouse, and she's like, help me, and he just backs up and lets her fall out. So it brings up the age-old question, did he kill her? I say yes. If you let someone die, you killed them. It's hard, though. This is a tough question. But it isn't really. Like, it's weird. It's one of these questions that, like, do your morals kick in? Is it your personal duty to save somebody if they're dying? I say yes, I would. But do I think people should be charged with, like, murder if they don't? And that's the question this movie starts out with. And then he goes back to his fiance. This all takes place in, like, a beach house, and the whole movie's like that. And I will say one thing, this guy's fiance looks like she's about 20, and he's about 50 to 60. So it's funny. Like, he goes to the fiance's house and he looks like he should be with her mom. It's a normal thing back then. Older men marrying young girls. But I I like the stuff that happens here. I was sucked in on this the whole time. I bumped this up to a 3.5 now. I was sucked in right from the start to the finish because the ghost of this woman starts haunting him. But it's really doing a good job of making you wonder whether it's all just his guilty conscience or the woman's actually haunting him. And I won't reveal what is what, just in case you haven't seen it. I think this is a must check out. I think a lot of people would find a lot of enjoyment here. And I'll leave it at that then. I don't want to ruin whether or not she's actually haunting him, where it goes and everything, because there is a bit of a twist ending. I will say that a guy shows up and starts blackmailing him, and it's all just spiraling out of control for him. Next up here, this is from Kino Lorber again. This is Circus of Horrors. This is a 4K release, actually, from Kino. Got some reversible art. And then the third one on this, I think it's just that art, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just that cover, the slipcover art. Comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Oops, put this back in right. This was another one, 3.5, caught me off guard. It's circus horror, obviously. It's a doctor that's basically invented plastic surgery type stuff, and he's fixing people's faces, but other doctors have kicked him out of the medical community. So he's on the road with his wife or his girlfriend and like just a couple of his assistants, we'll say. And he runs into a traveling carnival, and they're down on their luck. They're down and out. And actually, Donald Pleasance in this one too. Kind of look like him, but just give me a second here. Was it him playing the role? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, it is Donald Pleasance. Forget it. Donald Pleasance, another appearance here. He's the owner of, Donald Pleasance is the owner of this failing circus, and he's an old alcoholic, and he's just given up. This guy shows up and cures his daughter. He fixes her face and makes her beautiful, and she's running around going, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. Really weird, cheesy moment, but it caught me off guard. And then this guy promises Donald Pleasance, if you hire me, sign your entire circus over to me, but you can still be the owner, but I'll just be the manager of it. And if you do that, I will have this circus making money within a year, he says. And Donald Pleasance says, sure, and he signs the papers. And then he's getting all hammered that night, and he gets killed by the bear, a bear that's like one of their performing bears. And the main guy here just watches him and lets him die. Another one of those situations. And now, because he just got the signature, so now he took over the circus. And it cuts to like a little ways down the road, and he's going and getting criminals and prostitutes and all kinds of people like that, and that's who's working his circus. And basically it goes in the direction of when some of these people want out, they mysteriously die in circus performance acts. And there's some good kills, like some really circus-based kills. I don't know. I just had a good time with this, and then I like where it goes at the end, and it's pretty straightforward. But it's fun. I enjoyed it. Great acting here too from Anton Diffring. This guy here, I've seen him in other things. I think he's like, I think he's in like James Bond, stuff like that. But decent stuff. Good 4K transfer as well. Now we're cracking my top 10. Yeah, at number 10. This is from Indicator. This is the original 13 Ghosts. Directed by William Castle. Really cool stuff here. This is a 3.5 again for me. It's pretty frickin' cheesy to today's standards. But anybody that's seen the remake with Matthew Lillard, sorry, I got the hiccups, so I'm trying to not start hiccuping out loud. So if you see me making weird faces, I'm trying to not be hiccuping through the whole thing. Bad time to get the hiccups. And there's a lot of cool stuff about this too, like when it was in the theater. Like, this comes with multiple modes to watch it in. One called Illusiono. I don't know much about any of this stuff. My knowledge isn't that deep, but it comes in the color version, the black and white version, and then it comes with another version where back in the day, if you were in the movie theater, they would give you a pair of glasses, and if you hold the glasses down and then put them up, you can actually see the ghosts, and when they're not on, you can't. It's pretty freaking cool, I was thinking. But this one's a really slow burn. Like, it's not a lot's happening, and like the original, it's a lot like the remake. The storyline's pretty similar, but there is a few things that they change. Like, it's the same thing. A family inherits their uncle's house. They thought their uncle was dead. They get there. Ghosts start appearing all over the place. This one goes in a different twist direction, though. The remake, the uncle's alive, and he's like just getting them there to sacrifice them. This one doesn't go in that direction. So even if you've seen the remake, this is still worth a watch because you don't know the ending. And I won't spoil it, obviously. But I watched it in black and white. Next time I watch it, I will probably check out the different versions. And this is region free as well. I don't own a lot of Indicator because a lot of the times they're region B locked, and I don't have a region free player. I should grab one eventually. Sorry, I know it's ridiculous that with a collection this big, I only collect Region A. But yeah, check out 13 Ghosts. It's cool. On the inside, it's just a bunch of their catalog releases here. But yeah. Yeah, Region A, B, and C on it. It was different. It does need a second watch, though, because I was tired when I watched this. So I was a bit like, oh, this needs to pick up the pace kind of feeling. Next up in 9th place, this is from the Warner Archive Collection, and this is the original Village of the Damned. Pretty much the exact same story as the John Carpenter remake. 3.5, just because the kids are creepy. I love creepy kids. But I like the remake better, to be honest. I actually think that this one's a bit too slow. It takes too long to get to the places. There's better kills in the remake. So I would honestly just stick to the remake, but if you want to see what started it, this is it. All the kids do excellent jobs. Everything's good. It's just it's like it's almost shot by shot remake. The original. I have a hard time talking about those kind, whether it be the new one or the old one, because a lot of the times, like a movie coming up here, I absolutely hate the remakes if I already liked the original. But in this case, I like the remake more because that's the one I seen, and this one feels like a copy of that one. But it is what it is. Number 8. This is from my Hammer Horror 8 movie collection here. And this one is Brides of Dracula. Doesn't really show anything on the back here, but it's Brides of Dracula. This changes the story up a bit. It gets its own disc. Oh no, it's on a double disc with Curse of the Werewolf. But good set here though. I've shown this before too. Like every 2 movies per disc. 8 movies for one price. Good little set. I recommend this. Highly recommend. But Brides of Dracula, this is a 3.5 again. And it's only a 3.5 because, like, I've seen so many Dracula movies. And this one just seemed too predictable. I knew exactly where it was all going right from the beginning. But the acting here is really good, and the way they go about it. Like, this one goes in a direction. Let's give you a quick little tiny sum up. This one goes in the direction that a girl ends up at this castle, and it's only by mistake, but is it? And this guy, she meets this old woman, and she is gonna let her stay in the castle. And when she's sleeping at night, she looks out her window and sees a guy standing out on the end of a balcony, and she runs down to save him, and he ends up being her son that everybody thought was dead, and you know where that's going. He's Dracula, and she unleashes him. And then he goes on a quest to get his 3 brides, basically, and that's what this is. It's the Brides of Dracula. I enjoyed it. Not for everybody. 3.5. I'm gonna move a bit quicker on these because, first off, my back is sore, and I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half. But also, my iPad, my space on it isn't the greatest. I keep doing like hour and a half videos, and I don't have enough space, and it just becomes a pain in the butt. So I'm trying to keep my videos under an hour. Next up here, this is from Kino Lorber again. This is from the Mario Bava collection, and this is Black Sunday. We're up to a 4. Yeah, my number 7 is a 4 from 1960. So this is obviously a solid year of horror, in my opinion. Barbara Steele doing double duty in this movie. She's playing the good guy and the evil bad guy, and this is the classic The Mask of Satan story. Where at the beginning, a witch played by Barbara Steele with her crazy eyes gets the mask of Satan hammered onto her face and sacrificed, and then it cuts to years later, and she accidentally gets resurrected by a couple of guys, and the devil that she worships is also resurrected in the movie, and then they just slowly try to take over this castle. And I don't really need to explain much more than that. This is it. It's must-see shit. This is a classic. It's a 4. It's perfect gothic horror, in my opinion. Just gothic horror done as good as you really can. It would be higher, to be honest. There's just a little bit too much slowdown in the middle, where I start to I know where the story's going, so I just want to pick up my iPad now and kind of wait till it gets there. And that wouldn't be the same for everybody. But good stuff. Excellent scene where she's resurrected and she's got all the holes in her face. It's pretty good pretty cool looking shit. Next up here, we got another 4. This is the City of the Dead. It's not the city. Yeah, City of the Dead. Got some Christopher Lee here, one of my all-time favorites. This one, he's like a professor, and he sends a girl to this town because she wants to study ancient witchcraft that took place in this town. It's a lot like Black Sunday. Starts out with people that were sacrificing witches. And the witch that they sacrificed at the beginning put a curse on this town. And they have to continue to sacrifice people every certain amount of years. So Christopher Lee sends this girl there to do some studying on it. And it has... Oh, it's so hard because I'm trying to sell you the movie, but I don't want to ruin major plot lines or twists and stuff. And it's hard to not ruin those things, but still make the movie sound like it's a 4. There's a mid-movie twist. And there's, like, awesome imagery. Like, all that imagery on the front there, isn't it? And it just feels freaking good. I really like it. I'll leave it there. It's got a good mid-movie twist. Awesome gothic stuff again. And then, my top 5. Next up here in 5, this is another Film Masters. This is a double pack. But today I'm talking about the one down here, The Little Shop of Horrors. The original. Excellent shit. This is a 4 again. This movie is extremely entertaining. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's got weird, quirky acting. It feels like Saturday Night Live. Like a hour and 20-minute Saturday Night Live skit. Was this directed by Corman? I think so. I'm not sure. Yeah, Roger Corman, I think. Doesn't actually say, but I think it's directed by Roger Corman. These Film Master releases are freaking awesome, man. Most of them come like this in dual features. Nice booklet with tons of info on both movies. It feels like an hour and 20-minute Saturday Night Live skit. Because this is really a comedy, just like the remake. And it's just about a guy that's trying to work at his wannabe future father-in-law. He wants to marry the guy's daughter. And it's a love story between them. And he's just trying to impress this guy, so he's inventing this plant. And it ends up being Aubrey. And it just wants you to feed it blood and human body parts and stuff. And so that's what it is. He's killing people. He's feeding it to this plant. It's getting bigger. And when this plant talks, it's like, it just leaves a lasting impression on you. I'm like, this is awesome. Aubrey's awesome. Or Audrey. Aubrey. Freaking good stuff. Start to finish. Ends awesome. Everything's good. Absolutely love it. Little Shop of Horrors is a must grab. Ooh, next up we have a big one here. This is from Arrow Video. This is one of their limited editions. This is Mill of the Stone Women. Big thick case there. Thick movie. This is only Blu-ray. This isn't a 4K. I don't think this got a 4K. But it comes with a nice thick book, like a beast of a book here. And then it comes with a nice, decent-sized poster. Then it comes with the movie on 2 discs, 2 Blu-ray discs, then some art cards and stuff like that. This is another 4. Comes with multiple versions of the movie as well. The Italian and English export versions, the French and US versions. Yeah, like 4 or 5 different versions of the movie on here in all different languages and stuff. I just watched the Italian version. And I've seen the English. This is like House of Wax meets like classic goth haunted house type stuff. A guy gets to this castle and he falls in love with this girl, and he finds out that she dies every night, we'll say, and is like reborn. It's just so hard to explain. But anyways, this guy ends up being tricked by the head of the house, the girl's father, into thinking that he's just crazy. So it becomes like a pretty deep psychological horror movie. Like there's some deep psychological shit mixed with some evil science type shit. Mill of the Stone Women. This is a good surprise, man. A nice limited edition too. I would definitely recommend adding this to your collection. This is a 4. Some cool stuff. Awesome imagery, great storyline. Excellent release. Now we're going to do my top 3. And anybody that knows 1960 horror probably can guess what they are. My number 3 comes from this Vincent Price collection, and it is The Fall of the House of Usher. The classic Edgar Allan Poe story. And it is freaking good. I absolutely love Fall of the House of Usher. I think this is hard because Vincent Price, I personally think he's like one of the greatest actors of all time. But he's super theater. Like when he's acting, it feels like he's doing stage play acting. And that can throw some people off. But I love it. So if you like that style, you'll like all of his movies. And this one, I don't really need to deeply explain Fall of House of Usher. It's the Fall of the House of Usher. Only it's done in different way. Like they're not all the exact same story. They kind of portray them a little bit differently, but they all have the same outcome. But Vincent Price and his sister live alone in this castle, and a guy shows up and he wants to marry the sister. He's in love with her, and he wants to take her from the house and go have a happy life together. And Vincent Price is just somber as fuck. He's like, this family is cursed. This house is cursed. You can't take her out of this house. We're going to die horrible deaths. Our entire family has died horrible deaths. The classic Fall of the House of Usher story. And basically, he's just slowly trying to convince this guy that he's correct. And the guy's saying, you're just a crazy, superstitious idiot. And Vincent Price goes to great lengths to prove that he's telling the truth, including evil stuff. And it all leads to the fall of the House of Usher. I'll leave it at that. Excellent stuff. Gotta see. Now my number 2, this is from Criterion. This is a 4K. Newer release too. This is Peeping Tom. I watched this twice. Once when I first bought the 4K, when it first came out. Comes with tons of stuff here too. It's a nice release. Beautiful picture, beautiful sound. Great 4K from Criterion here, as per usual. This one feels classy. It's right in the vein of, you know what, I'll just reveal my number 1 because it's a good comparison. And my number 1 is Psycho. Anyone that knows me knows that Psycho is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is the only 5 of 1960. All the rest of these aren't even 4.5. They're a lot of 6 4s there after this. Psycho's the only one that hits perfection for me. And Peeping Tom and Psycho are very similar. They're just done slightly differently. And I could see some people being like, Peeping Tom's better. I could understand it. There's a little more deeper storyline going on. But Psycho is just such a masterpiece, in my opinion. Everything is done perfectly. Everything. There's not one flaw in this movie. I don't need to explain Psycho. Everyone knows the storyline. Everybody. I hope everyone's seen it, and if you haven't, get out there and do it. Because it's excellent. So I'll talk more about Peeping Tom. Because this was a recent watch. This guy is also really freaking good and creepy, just like Anthony Perkins. And he's just a filmmaker. He's a up and coming filmmaker. He wants to be a director, but he has a shady ass past with his dad and his mom, and it slowly reveals it as you're going. And he likes to kill women with his camera as he's filming them die, just to watch their responses. There isn't a lot of it, though. That's the thing. Like Psycho, there's not a ton of kills. It's like just a deep dive into the psyche of a psychopath. And that's what it is. Honest to God, I think that both of these are must-haves, must-grabs. Excellent additions to anybody's collection. But here's the thing. With Peeping Tom, I love the ending. Some of the movie bored me. I was like, come on, get on with it a little bit. I'm getting a little bored here. And that's what sets this apart. Psycho, I'm not bored for 1 minute of this movie. I'm entertained right from the get-go. I'm sucked in. And Hitchcock is just a master of suspense. And he keeps you sucked in, wondering what's happening. This one does hit a boring section for me. Where I just kind of wanted to see what was going to happen at the end. And the ending delivered. And that's what I was like, ooh, okay. Like, it was sitting at a 3 for a few minutes. And then it bumps back up to a 4. When it delivered the ending. But yeah, that's my deep dive into 1960. Sorry I went a little quicker than I normally do. I'm recording this the same night that I just did like a 2-hour live stream with Brendan and Sam from Our Life in Horror, so my back's a bit sore from sitting in these uncomfortable chairs, so I moved a little quicker than I would normally do. I usually go a bit deeper, but with that said, a lot of these movies people probably haven't even seen, and I recommend grabbing all of them. My least one's a 2, but it could be higher on your list, just depending. I think every one is a pretty reasonable watch. Like, none of them are like, I am so bored I'm just turning on something else and doing something else. Every single one of them I'm sucked in from beginning to end. Psycho I've watched so many times. I've watched just this 4K probably at least 5 times since I bought the 4K. It's just so damn good, man. I love everything about Psycho. Every scene, all the acting, all the dialogue, the ending, all of it, man. Just a perfect film. Masterpiece level. So I will leave you at that. Thank you so much for checking out my video. How many of these do you own? I'd love to hear, like, if anybody else owns them all as well, or if you own one I don't, which is pretty hard from this year. But next up, I'm going to probably do 1998 is what I'm thinking, because I was going through my collection, and I started out by looking for a movie I really want to watch, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I want to watch that, and then I look at all the other horror movies that came out that year and see if there's a bunch I want to watch, and then I go from there, and then I'm like, how many do I have? Could I do a good enough size episode with what I have from that year? And then, so 1998, I have a pretty big chunk of what came out in that year as well. I'm only missing like a few, and they're all like, when I say a few, obviously I'm missing more than a few. You can't have every single movie, but of ones that I would even consider having in my collection. I'm only missing a few, and they're all really low tier. I have everything above a certain level. But yeah, 1998 next. I hope you join me for that, and thank you for watching this one. I'll see you on the next one.